In the grand timeline of existence, age is but a fleeting marker. It cannot diminish the power of now, the precious gift of every breath we take, offering us a timeless opportunity for change. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom: transformation knows no age. In the ever-flowing river of time, each moment is an invitation, a fresh opportunity to reshape our path, reminding us that it's never too late to make meaningful changes rooted in Stoic virtues. Every new beginning arises from some other beginning's end. This cyclical nature of life teaches us that endings are not finalities but gateways to new beginnings. It's a viewpoint that cultivates hope and resilience, recognizing that every challenge, every ending, carries the potential to lead to something renewed and positive. In a world that often glorifies youth as the peak time for learning and growth, it's easy to think that with age, our window for transformation has closed. But what if we challenge that belief? What if I told you it's never too late to reinvent yourself, to learn new skills, and to embark on a journey of personal growth? Daily workouts, forge your body, sharpen your mind. Imagine your body as the vessel carrying you through life's unpredictable seas. Would you let it grow frail and unsteady, or would you fortify it to weather any storm? A daily workout is not just about physical strength, it's a ritual of self-mastery, a daily rebellion against inertia and mediocrity. It is your opportunity to embody the Stoic principle of resilience in its most tangible form. The intriguing interplay of body and mind. The Stoics believed that physical training was essential not for vanity, but for virtue. Marcus Aurelius himself saw exercise as a preparation for life's challenges, a means of disciplining the mind through the body. When you push your physical limits, you're also strengthening mental fortitude. Each drop of sweat is a testament to your commitment to growth, a symbol of your capacity to endure discomfort for the sake of progress. Why it matters? Your body is the foundation of all action. A strong body supports a sharp mind, enabling you to face life's demands with clarity and vigor. The ripple effect, the discipline cultivated during workouts, spills over into other areas of life. It builds consistency, enhances focus, and ignites the confidence needed to tackle larger ambitions. Every rep is a lesson in persistence. Consider this: when your muscles ache, and the voice of doubt whispers that you've done enough, you face a choice. You can quit, or you can push through and discover that your limits were further away than you imagined. In that moment, you are not just building muscle, you are chiseling away at fear, doubt, and hesitation. Intriguing truth: each workout is a microcosm of life's struggles. The resistance you face mirrors the obstacles in your path, and overcoming them reaffirms your inner strength. A Stoic's perspective, discomfort during exercise is not an enemy but a teacher, reminding you that enduring temporary pain leads to lasting growth. A ritual of renewal. Make your daily workout a sacred ritual. Whether it's a brisk walk, a grueling session of weights, or yoga on the mat, let it be the cornerstone of your day. Approach it not with dread but with gratitude, for every movement affirms that you are alive, capable, and striving. By committing to this discipline, you forge a body and mind that can rise to any occasion. The Stoics would ask, why wait to strengthen the vessel that carries you through life? Start today. Seek guidance, the compass to your growth. Picture yourself as a traveler navigating a vast, uncharted wilderness. Would you journey alone, relying solely on your instincts, or would you seek the wisdom of those who've walked the path before you? Seeking guidance is not a sign of weakness, it's the hallmark of those who are wise enough to know they do not have all the answers. It's a courageous act of humility that accelerates growth and deepens understanding. The treasure of shared wisdom. The Stoics, from Epictetus to Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the value of learning from others. They themselves stood on the shoulders of giants, absorbing insights from teachers, peers, and even critics. They knew that guidance refines our perceptions, sharpens our decisions, and allows us to sidestep pitfalls others have already overcome. Why it matters? No one sees the whole picture alone. Guidance offers fresh perspectives and helps you chart a clearer course toward your aspirations. The ripple effect: when you seek guidance, you form connections that enrich your life. Mentors, friends, and even adversaries become mirrors reflecting your blind spots and strengths. A journey without ego. The act of seeking guidance requires setting aside pride. It is a Stoic virtue to recognize our limitations and to reach out to those whose experiences can illuminate our path. Whether it's a mentor, a book, or a trusted confidant, each source of wisdom is a step closer to the clarity and confidence you seek. Intriguing truth: even the wisest philosophers leaned on others for counsel. Marcus Aurelius often credited his teachers for shaping his character. If emperors can seek guidance, why wouldn't you? A Stoic's perspective: asking for help isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's the decision to prioritize progress over self-sufficiency. A map for your quest. Guidance isn't just about receiving answers, it's about unlocking your potential. The right question, posed to the right person, can shift your perspective, unveiling paths you never knew existed. When you surround yourself with wise voices, you don't just gain advice, you inherit a map for your own transformation. The Stoics would ask, are you ready to set aside your pride, open your mind, and let wisdom guide you? If so, the wilderness of uncertainty becomes a world of discovery, and every step forward is made with conviction. Quality reading: fuel for the mind, compass for the soul. Imagine stepping into a library that houses the collective wisdom of centuries, voices of philosophers, visionaries, and dreamers echoing through time, waiting to share their secrets with you. Quality reading isn't just about consuming information. It's a profound act of communion with the greatest minds humanity has ever produced. Every page is an invitation to expand your horizons, refine your character, and uncover deeper truths about the world and yourself. Why quality reading matters. The Stoics, masters of introspection and action, revered the written word as a tool for personal transformation. Marcus Aurelius, in his private meditations, frequently quoted the thinkers who shaped his philosophy. Seneca, a literary giant, stressed that reading quality works nurtures the soul, providing strength in adversity and clarity amidst chaos. Mental nourishment: books are sustenance for the mind. The ideas within them challenge your assumptions, sharpen your reasoning, and embolden your convictions. A weapon against mediocrity: quality reading is the antidote to the fleeting distractions of modern life. It cultivates depth in a world often consumed by the superficial. How to choose quality reading. Not all books are created equal. The Stoics urged us to be selective, warning that devouring endless volumes without discernment leads to intellectual indigestion. Choose works that resonate with timeless truths: philosophy, history, literature, and science that enrich your understanding of the human condition. Timeless wisdom: seek out texts that have endured, such as the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, the Dialogues of Plato, or the Essays of Montaigne. Modern voices: explore contemporary works that carry the torch of critical thinking and ethical exploration. Choose authors who challenge and inspire you. The alchemy of ideas. Reading is not passive, it's an act of transformation. Each book you read becomes part of you, its ideas shaping your worldview, its wisdom influencing your actions. The Stoics believed in practical application. Knowledge gained through reading should translate into a life better lived. A challenge: as you read, ask yourself, how does this apply to my life? How can this make me better? A reward: over time, these questions mold you, turning your library into a personal forge where your character is tempered. A portal to greatness. When you read, you aren't just flipping pages, you're engaging in a dialogue with the greatest minds across time and space. You're asking questions, debating ideas, and walking beside those who've navigated life's trials and triumphs. Each book you choose is a stepping stone on your path to wisdom. The Stoics would ask, are you ready to build a library not of books, but of transformation? If so, every moment spent reading becomes a moment invested in your highest potential. Let the words you consume shape the person you become. Daily walks, a journey to clarity and resilience. Picture this: the sun gently warming your face, a soft breeze carrying the scents of the earth, and the rhythmic crunch of your steps grounding you in the present. A daily walk is not merely a physical act but a sacred ritual, a space where the mind, body, and spirit align to create a sanctuary for growth. The philosophy behind walking. For the Stoics, walking was more than transportation, it was an act of deliberate reflection. Thinkers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius believed in the power of movement to unlock clarity and deepen introspection. In those unhurried steps, they found a way to untangle life's complexities and align their actions with virtue. Walking grounds you. It connects you to the world, stripping away the noise of modern distractions and placing you in direct contact with reality. A space for thought. The simple act of walking slows the whirlwind of your mind, providing room for ideas to form and emotions to settle. Walking as a path to strength. A daily walk is a practice of resilience, training your body while fortifying your mind. It's a reminder that strength comes not from bursts of effort but from consistency. Each step is a promise to yourself, a declaration that you are committed to motion, no matter the pace. Mental clarity. Movement stimulates creativity and problem solving, often offering solutions to questions that seemed insurmountable in stillness. Physical vitality. Walking keeps the body active, a foundation for the energy needed to tackle life's challenges. Turn your walk into a ritual. Make your daily walk a practice infused with purpose. Walk with questions. Use your steps to contemplate life's dilemmas. Ask yourself, what is truly within my control today? Or, how can I embody courage and discipline? Observe the world, let the details around you, trees swaying, birds singing, the texture of the ground, anchor you in gratitude and wonder. Pair it with inspiration. Listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or silence. Let the journey become a dialogue between your inner self and the ideas that inspire you. A journey to yourself. A daily walk is more than exercise. It's an act of reclaiming your time and rediscovering your essence. With every step, you're grounding yourself in the present, reminding yourself of the ancient Stoic truth: the journey matters more than the destination. So, lace up your shoes, step outside, and let the world meet you halfway. As the Stoics would say, the path to wisdom is walked, not merely imagined. Sharpen concentration, forge your mind's edge. Imagine your mind as a blade, dulled by distraction, softened by endless interruptions. Without deliberate effort, it becomes a tool incapable of cutting through the chaos of modern life. Sharpening your concentration is the art of honing that blade, transforming your mind into a weapon of clarity, precision, and resolve. Why concentration matters. In the ancient Stoic texts, focus was revered as a gateway to mastery. Marcus Aurelius emphasized directing energy toward what truly matters, reminding us that a scattered mind cannot build greatness. Concentration is more than a skill, it's a discipline that shapes your ability to act with intention and impact. The power of presence. When your attention is undivided, even mundane tasks take on a profound quality. You see connections others miss, and your actions gain a rhythm of purpose. A mind anchored, concentration is the antidote to overwhelm. It grounds you in the here and now, silencing the noise of what ifs and what could best. The practice of sharpening. Honing your focus is not about Herculean effort but daily, deliberate practices that fortify your mental discipline. Like a Stoic forging their resolve in life's crucible, you sharpen your concentration through consistent refinement. Eliminate the superfluous. Create an environment that minimizes distractions. Clean your workspace, turn off notifications, and commit to singularity in action. Meditative focus. Begin with short bursts of attention, 15 minutes of uninterrupted focus on one task. Gradually extend this period, training your mind to stay tethered to the present. Anchor with purpose. Ask yourself before beginning, why is this important? Defining purpose ignites a natural focus and determination. The Stoic edge in focus. A sharpened mind transforms how you approach life. Tasks become stepping stones rather than hurdles. Challenges are met with curiosity rather than frustration. The Stoics believe that concentration leads to clarity, and clarity empowers action. Fortitude in distraction. Even in a world designed to pull your attention in 1,000 directions, you can create an unshakable calm. Momentum over chaos. Focus allows you to build momentum. Each completed task feeds into the next, creating a ripple effect of achievement. The invitation to mastery. Sharpening your concentration is an ongoing practice, a promise to yourself to honor the finite energy of your mind. With every intentional act of focus, you're carving out space for your goals, your growth, and your aspirations. When you wield your attention with precision, life transforms from a whirlwind to a canvas. As Marcus Aurelius might have said, "The art of living is the art of focus." So, take a breath, clear the mental fog, and commit to a life where your thoughts cut through distractions like a blade through water. The power to master your world begins with mastering your mind. Break addictions, reclaim your sovereignty. Addiction is a silent conqueror, a force that seizes your autonomy and binds your will to fleeting pleasures. Whether it's the lure of a glowing screen, the pull of indulgent habits, or the grasp of harmful substances, addiction feeds on your mind's vulnerability, siphoning your freedom. Breaking addiction isn't just about resisting temptation, it's about reclaiming sovereignty over your life. Why addiction is a battle for freedom. The Stoics believe that true strength lies in self-mastery. Seneca warned against becoming a slave to your desires, for dependency is a subtle chain, light at first but eventually unbreakable if left unchecked. Every addiction, no matter how small, chips away at your agency, leaving you at the mercy of external forces. The illusion of comfort. Addictions often masquerade as sources of relief or joy. But over time, they erode your well-being, demanding more while giving less. Loss of autonomy. Each surrender to an addictive pull reinforces a pattern, making it harder to resist and easier to feel powerless. The path to liberation. Breaking addiction is not a single act of defiance but a journey of persistence, discipline, and self-discovery. It requires courage to confront not just the habit but the root cause of your reliance. Name the enemy. Identify your addiction clearly and without judgment. Naming it strips it of its power to operate in the shadows. Understand the cost. Reflect on how this habit drains your time, energy, and purpose. Write it down, a stark list of what's at stake. Replace, don't remove, nature abhors a vacuum. Replace addictive behaviors with healthier alternatives. Walk instead of scrolling, journal instead of reaching for a vice. Call on community. The Stoics value community for a reason. Share your struggle with trusted allies who can hold you accountable. Harnessing Stoic tools. The Stoics offer timeless tools to battle addiction and reclaim self-control. The power of pre-commitment. Decide ahead of time how you'll respond when temptation strikes. Visualize the moment and your triumph over it. Daily reflections. Journal each evening. Reflect on where you succeeded, where you faltered, and how you'll improve tomorrow. Practice voluntary discomfort. Train your willpower by choosing small challenges daily. Fasting, cold showers, or digital detoxes. These moments of self-denial strengthen your resolve. The victory of self-mastery. Breaking addiction is not just about quitting a habit, it's about rebuilding your identity as someone who governs their own life. Each step forward is a strike against the chains that hold you, a declaration that your mind and body belong to you alone. Freedom beyond the habit. As you unshackle yourself, you'll feel a growing sense of clarity, energy, and pride. Life becomes vibrant again, not dulled by the haze of compulsion. The ripple effect. When you conquer one addiction, you build the confidence to face others, unlocking deeper levels of self-discipline and empowerment. Reclaim your throne. The battle against addiction is a fight for your highest self. As Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To break addiction is to rise above it, to stand in the light of your own potential, unburdened and unbroken. This is your moment to reclaim your sovereignty. Each choice, each refusal, is a victory, a declaration that you are the architect of your life, not its captive. The chains can be broken. Will you seize the hammer? Progress over perfection, the beauty of imperfect strides. Perfection is a mirage, shimmering in the distance, always just out of reach. It tempts you to chase it endlessly, whispering promises of flawless achievement. But here's the paradox. The pursuit of perfection often paralyzes progress. You hesitate, overthink, or avoid starting altogether, convinced that anything less than ideal is failure. Yet, true greatness lies not in perfect outcomes but in relentless forward movement. Why perfection is a deceptive ideal? The Stoics understood the folly of perfectionism. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to accept the imperfect nature of human life. while Epictetus urged us to focus on what's within our control. Perfection is not in the outcome but in the effort, a consistent, mindful dedication to improvement. Paralysis of perfectionism. The fear of not meeting impossible standards can keep you stuck, delaying action and silencing creativity. Life's unpredictability. The world is full of variables beyond your control. Striving for perfection often means battling the inevitable chaos of existence. The power of progress. Progress is humble yet powerful. It's not about dazzling leaps but steady, small steps forward, learning, growing, and adapting as you go. When you prioritize progress, you embrace the journey and honor your capacity to evolve. Start where you are, begin imperfectly. The first step is always messy, but it's also necessary. Break it down, focus on incremental improvements. Tiny wins compound into extraordinary outcomes over time. Celebrate effort, not outcomes. Take pride in showing up, in trying, and in persisting, regardless of the result. Stoic tools for progress. The Stoics offer profound wisdom to help you embrace progress and release the grip of perfectionism. The daily review. Reflect each evening. What did you learn today? Where did you improve? This practice turns progress into a habit. A more fatty, love your fate. Instead of lamenting imperfections, find beauty in them. They are stepping stones to growth. Focus on control. Perfection depends on factors outside your power. Progress depends only on your effort. Channel your energy wisely. The courage to be imperfect. True courage lies in embracing imperfection. Each stumble, error, and adjustment refines you. The Japanese art of kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold, teaches us that flaws are not failures but enhancements. Your imperfections tell a story of resilience, adaptability, and humanity. Why progress is liberation. From fear, progress frees you from the tyranny of perfection, letting you act boldly without dread of falling short. From stagnation, with progress as your goal, you keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. From unrealistic standards, progress lets you define success on your own terms, not by society's unrelenting demands, but by your personal evolution. A new way forward. As you pursue progress over perfection, you unlock the joy of becoming. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory over inertia. You'll find momentum where there was hesitation, clarity where there was doubt. Remember, no great thing is created suddenly. As Epictetus said, the masterpiece of your life is not painted in a single stroke but in countless brushstrokes of effort, reflection, and growth. Aim not for perfection but for motion, and you'll discover that progress is the truest form of success. Will you take the next step? The journey is waiting, imperfect but undeniably yours. Choose a guiding principle, the North Star of your life. In the chaos of modern life, where distractions pull you in 1,000 directions, how do you ensure that your path remains clear and true? The answer lies in selecting a guiding principle, a singular, unwavering focus that shapes your actions, decisions, and character. It's like choosing a star to navigate by, allowing you to sail through the storms of doubt and uncertainty. What is a guiding principle? A guiding principle is a core value or belief that acts as a compass, directing your thoughts and actions. It's the foundation upon which you build your decisions, especially in moments of challenge or temptation. Rather than relying on the fleeting whims of the day or the fluctuating opinions of others, you ground yourself in this principle to maintain consistency and clarity. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. The guiding principle is not a theoretical concept, it is a lived truth. Why it's crucial to choose one. Life is an endless series of choices, and in each moment, you are faced with countless options. Without a guiding principle, the noise of external pressures, social expectations, fleeting desires, or even momentary frustrations, can drown out your authentic voice. But when you are clear on your guiding principle, every decision becomes an opportunity to affirm your core values. In moments of doubt, when uncertainty creeps in, your principle reminds you of who you are and where you're headed. In times of distraction, it cuts through the clutter, making it easier to say no to what doesn't align with your purpose. In pursuit of greatness, A guiding principle is the secret to steady progress, serving as both your fuel and your filter. How to choose your guiding principle. Choosing a guiding principle requires deep self-reflection and clarity. It's about identifying what truly matters to you, what you want your life to stand for. Here's how to begin. Reflect on your values. Think about the qualities you admire most in others. Integrity, courage, kindness, wisdom, what resonates with you. Identify your life's purpose. Consider what you want to contribute to the world. What is the legacy you want to leave behind? Test your principle. Choose a principle, then test it through action. Does it help you in decision-making? Does it give you a sense of direction and peace? Commit. Once chosen, let your principle guide you. Let it dictate the way you respond to challenges, the way you treat others, and the way you invest your time. The Stoic approach to a guiding principle. The Stoics understood the importance of living in accordance with nature and reason. For them, the guiding principle was to live virtuously, embracing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in every aspect of life. Marcus Aurelius, for example, used his journal to remind himself daily of his commitment to virtue, urging himself to embody his principles through thought and action. Virtue as a compass. The Stoics believed that living virtuously was the highest form of human achievement. If you choose virtue as your guiding principle, every challenge becomes an opportunity to practice courage, integrity, and wisdom. Self-reflection as a guide. Regular self-examination, a key Stoic practice, allows you to measure whether your actions are aligned with your guiding principle. Focus on what you can control. The Stoics knew that you cannot control external events, only your response to them. Let your principle help you navigate life's challenges, knowing that how you respond is within your power. The transformative power of a guiding principle. When you choose a guiding principle, you don't just live with more purpose, you live with clarity and intent. This principle becomes your anchor in times of turbulence, your spark in moments of uncertainty. It helps you focus on what matters most and empowers you to show up as the person you aspire to be. Think of your guiding principle as the heartbeat of your transformation. It is not about grand gestures, but consistent, mindful actions that align with this central truth. Each day, you refine your character and reshape your world through the lens of this guiding light. Living by your principle. To live by your guiding principle is to carry it like a torch, lighting your way through life's dark corners. It's a commitment to become rather than just achieve. You may stumble, but your principle is there to guide you back to your path. With each step, you find the courage to live authentically and align your actions with your deepest values. Consistency over perfection. Don't expect perfection, but remain unwavering in your commitment to your principle. Each time you act in alignment with it, you grow stronger. Guiding through action, your principle isn't merely a mental concept, it's a living practice. Your life becomes the reflection of your guiding principle in motion. Inspiring others. By embodying your guiding principle, you inspire those around you. They see your steady commitment to your values and may feel empowered to choose their own guiding principles. Conclusion: a life anchored in purpose. Choosing a guiding principle is a powerful, life-altering decision. It brings clarity to your actions, purpose to your decisions, and direction to your journey. The Stoics knew that the key to living a good life lies not in seeking external rewards, but in aligning your actions with a higher, unshakable principle. As you walk this path, remember that every step, no matter how small, is a testament to your unwavering commitment to your guiding principle. It's the key to living a life that is both authentic and purposeful, and it is the ultimate path to true transformation. Will you choose your guiding principle today? Will you let it be the force that propels you forward, no matter what obstacles stand in your way? The choice is yours, and it's one that will shape the course of your entire life. Procrastination as fear in disguise, the silent saboteur. We all know the feeling, the looming deadline, the pile of unfinished tasks, the gnawing sense of dread when you think about the work you should be doing. We often chalk it up to laziness or poor time management, but what if procrastination is something deeper, something far more insidious? What if procrastination is not a lack of willpower, but fear in disguise? Unmasking procrastination. At first glance, procrastination appears to be a harmless delay, A momentary indulgence in distractions like scrolling through social media, binge watching your favorite show, or even cleaning the house when you should be working. But what lies beneath the surface is far more than simple avoidance. At its core, procrastination is driven by an underlying fear: the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being good enough. It's the fear of taking the first step into the unknown, where the outcome is uncertain and the stakes feel unbearably high. Fear of failure, the unseen hand. For many, the root cause of procrastination is fear of failure. You delay starting a project not because you're lazy, but because you fear that it won't be perfect, that you'll fall short of your own or others' expectations. The perfectionist within you becomes paralyzed by the idea of not measuring up. So you delay? You put it off, creating a cycle of avoidance that only reinforces the fear. It's easier to put off the task entirely than to face the possibility of failing. But here's the paradox. In procrastinating, you are, in fact, guaranteeing failure. The longer you wait, the more you struggle against the looming deadline, and the more stressful the situation becomes. Ironically, procrastination increases the risk of failure, rather than reducing it. Fear of judgment, the invisible critic. Another form of fear behind procrastination is the fear of judgment, the terror of being scrutinized by others, or worse, being criticized for your efforts. This fear often manifests as imposter syndrome, where you feel like a fraud, as though you don't deserve to succeed, and as a result, you hesitate to act. When faced with a task that might reveal your weaknesses, you procrastinate because you fear how others will perceive you. This fear holds you back from creating your best work, or even starting at all, because you are so focused on potential external judgment that you forget the most important opinion, your own. Fear of success, a surprising twist. Believe it or not, some people procrastinate because they fear success itself. Success comes with its own set of challenges and expectations. Achieving your goals may force you to face greater responsibilities, new challenges, or changes that you're not prepared for. The fear of success can be paralyzing because it leads to the discomfort of stepping into the unknown. What if I succeed, but it changes my life in ways I can't control? What if I'm not ready for what comes after success? What if I can't sustain this level of achievement? In this case, procrastination becomes a protective shield against the discomfort of stepping into a larger, more demanding version of yourself. It's easier to avoid action than to face the vast potential that success may unlock. The root cause: fear of the unknown. At the heart of all procrastination is a deep-rooted fear of the unknown. We fear what we cannot control or predict, and so we delay, avoiding the inevitable. When you procrastinate, you create a buffer zone between yourself and the uncertainty that lies ahead. You retreat into comfort, into the familiar, where you don't have to confront the ambiguity of new endeavors. But here's the catch: the longer you avoid the unknown, the more your fear grows. Procrastination feeds the fear, allowing it to grow stronger and more paralyzing with time. The more you delay, the more you feel incapable of taking action, breaking the cycle, transforming fear into fuel. So, how do you break free from procrastination's grip? The key lies in facing your fears head-on, recognizing them for what they are, and using them as fuel for action, rather than allowing them to control you. Acknowledge the fear. The first step is to admit that procrastination is driven by fear. Recognize that the anxiety you feel is natural, and that it's not a sign of weakness. Reframe the outcome. Rather than focusing on the end result, shift your focus to the process. Recognize that mistakes are a part of growth, and that action, no matter how imperfect, is always better than stagnation. Take small steps. Break your task into smaller, manageable pieces. Taking small actions makes the unknown less daunting and builds confidence. Embrace imperfection. Accept that perfection is an illusion. Every successful endeavor is a collection of imperfect steps. By releasing the need for perfection, you free yourself to act. Cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you face resistance. The fear of judgment is not as powerful when you learn to judge yourself with compassion, rather than criticism. Visualize success. Shift your focus from the fear of failure to the potential rewards of success. By visualizing the positive outcomes of completing the task, you can transform the fear of the unknown into a motivating force. The paradox of procrastination. Procrastination is, in many ways, a self-sabotaging paradox. It promises relief from discomfort by avoiding the task, yet it only amplifies that discomfort in the long run. The more you procrastinate, the more your fears hold power over you. But when you confront your fears directly, you disempower them. By choosing to take action, despite the fear, you shift your relationship with uncertainty. You prove to yourself that the unknown is not as terrifying as it appears, and with each step, you build resilience, clarity, and confidence. Conclusion: from fear to freedom. Procrastination is not a sign of laziness, it's a sign of fear. But once you recognize that fear, you reclaim your power. Rather than allowing fear to paralyze you, you can choose to face it, embrace it, and move beyond it. In doing so, you take the first step toward a life of action, growth, and unlimited potential. The next time you feel the urge to procrastinate, ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? And then choose to take the first step forward, because freedom lies on the other side of fear. Momentum from small steps, the secret power of consistency. In a world that celebrates grand gestures and monumental achievements, it's easy to overlook the understated brilliance of small steps. Yet, what if the path to greatness doesn't require massive leaps, but instead, a series of tiny, deliberate actions that compound over time? What if the secret to extraordinary results lies in the subtle momentum created by the smallest of movements? The underrated power of small steps. Picture a snowball rolling down a hill. It begins as a small, almost insignificant clump of snow. But as it continues to roll, it gathers more snow, gaining size, speed, and momentum. What started as something minuscule becomes an unstoppable force. This is how momentum works, not in explosive bursts of energy, but through consistent, incremental progress. Small steps are often dismissed because they seem inconsequential on their own. A single push-up might feel meaningless, writing a single paragraph may seem trivial, or one tiny habit might feel like a drop in the ocean. But these, insignificant, actions have a compounding effect. Over time, they accumulate and begin to snowball, creating momentum that propels you forward with incredible force. The power of consistency. What makes small steps so powerful is their consistency. When you take consistent action, no matter how small, you build trust in yourself. You prove that you can commit to something and follow through, which reinforces your confidence and determination. This trust in your ability to take action is essential for overcoming resistance and building a successful routine. Every small step you take chips away at procrastination, self-doubt, and inertia. And just like a muscle that grows stronger with each repetition, the more you take small steps, the more powerful your momentum becomes. The key is showing up, day in and day out, even when the progress feels slow or imperceptible. The snowball effect, how small steps lead to big results. The brilliance of momentum lies in the way it magnifies effort. At first, progress may feel sluggish, like you're not moving fast enough to see any tangible results. But over time, the compound effect kicks in. Each small step builds upon the last, and soon, you're propelling yourself forward with greater speed and ease. Consider this. Imagine writing just 200 words every day. At the end of the week, you've written 1,400 words. At the end of the month, that's 6,000 words, enough for a chapter, or even an entire blog post. What started as a modest, manageable goal becomes a significant achievement with cumulative effort. Momentum grows, and suddenly, what once felt like a daunting task becomes achievable. The snowball has gathered enough size and speed to carry you effortlessly toward your goal. The psychological power of small wins. When we take small steps, we experience frequent wins, however minor they may seem. These wins have a powerful psychological impact. Every time you complete a small task, you release a burst of dopamine, the brain's feel-good neurotransmitter. This positive reinforcement keeps you motivated, as your brain begins to associate progress with pleasure. Small wins also help to keep you engaged. When you break a larger, intimidating task into smaller, digestible actions, you make it easier to remain focused. The feeling of accomplishment from each step keeps the momentum going, providing the energy you need to tackle the next one. Before long, you realize that you've been steadily moving toward your larger goals without the pressure of overwhelming yourself. Momentum transforms the impossible into the possible. One of the most powerful aspects of momentum is its ability to transform the impossible into the possible. When you first embark on a challenging task or goal, it can feel insurmountable. But with each small step, the task becomes more manageable, less intimidating. The larger picture begins to break down into smaller, achievable chunks. The task shrinks, and the impossible feels within reach. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more consistent your efforts, the more your belief in your ability to achieve grows. This confidence builds upon itself, reinforcing the momentum you've already created. With enough momentum, even the most daunting project can become a series of manageable actions that you know you can take. Breaking through resistance with small steps. A major hurdle that stands between us and progress is resistance, the mental and emotional force that pushes us to avoid difficult or uncomfortable tasks. Resistance often grows larger the more we delay taking action. However, small steps have a remarkable ability to bypass resistance. When the action is small enough, it doesn't feel threatening. It's not overwhelming or intimidating, and this reduces the inner resistance that would otherwise paralyze us. Starting small creates a sense of ease. Once you've taken the first small step, it's much easier to take the next one. Soon, the resistance that once held you back is neutralized by the momentum of consistent, tiny actions. The invisible forces of progress, why small steps work. One of the most intriguing aspects of small steps is that they often work below the surface. In the early stages, the results aren't immediately visible. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening, habits are forming, mindsets are shifting, and your brain is rewiring itself for success. You might not see the full impact of your efforts right away, but each step creates a foundational layer of growth that will eventually surface in bigger, more tangible results. Momentum also acts as a form of positive feedback. The more you act, the more you reinforce the idea that you are capable. With each small step, you break down the barriers of self-doubt and procrastination. What starts as a trickle of action becomes a surge of forward motion. The more you act, the more you want to act, and soon, it feels impossible to stop. The paradox of small steps, less effort, more results. It's easy to think that big changes require big efforts, but in reality, the most lasting progress often comes from small, sustained actions. The paradox here is that the less effort you expend in a single action, the more likely it is to accumulate into meaningful results. Big goals, daunting challenges, and life-changing transformations are rarely achieved through one monumental action. Instead, they are the result of consistent, small steps that compound into greatness. Conclusion: embrace the momentum of small steps. The key to unlocking your potential lies not in dramatic leaps, but in the power of small, consistent steps. Every tiny action you take, whether it's writing a paragraph, lifting a weight, or simply putting one foot in front of the other, builds momentum that can carry you further than you ever imagined. The beauty of this approach is that progress is inevitable. When you commit to taking small steps, you set the stage for a powerful momentum that will propel you toward your goals, until one day, you look back and realize that you've traveled much farther than you thought possible. The snowball effect of small steps doesn't just move you forward, it transforms you, unlocking the hidden power within every tiny action. Reject the illusion of perfect timing, the power of now. How often have you caught yourself thinking, "I'll wait for the perfect moment to start"? The perfect conditions, the right mood, the ideal alignment of the stars. It's a seductive thought, one that promises that when everything aligns, your effort will be flawless and your success guaranteed. But here's the secret: perfect timing is an illusion. In fact, waiting for the perfect moment can be the very thing that prevents you from moving forward. The truth is, the perfect time often doesn't exist. Success isn't born from waiting, it's born from acting, regardless of the conditions. The paradox of perfection. The idea of perfect timing is a seductive mirage that keeps us on the sidelines, believing that we're doing the smart thing by waiting. But in reality, this waiting is the silent killer of progress. The longer you wait, the more you convince yourself that there's a precise moment when it will all make sense, when you'll feel completely ready, and when success will feel inevitable. But the opposite is true. The longer you wait, the more momentum you lose. It's like a runner standing at the starting line, waiting for the perfect conditions, ideal weather, perfect energy levels, flawless preparation. By the time they finally decide to run, the race may have been won by someone who started in less than perfect conditions but kept moving forward. The paralyzing effect of perfect preparation. Waiting for the perfect moment is often disguised as preparation. We tell ourselves, "I need more information, more practice, more resources before I dive in." And while preparation is important, the truth is that the more you wait for perfection, the more you delay action. The pursuit of perfection often keeps you from realizing that growth comes from the messy, imperfect process of trial and error. Think about how a sculptor chisels away at a block of stone. At first, the shape is rough and unrefined. The process is not about waiting for the perfect moment to create, but about chiseling away, making mistakes, adjusting, refining, and learning as you go. Success doesn't emerge from flawless planning but from constant, imperfect action. Action over perfection, the fear of starting. At the core of the illusion of perfect timing is fear, fear of failure, fear of inadequacy, fear of making mistakes. We tell ourselves that waiting will allow us to avoid the discomfort of imperfection, but in truth, the longer we wait, the more entrenched these fears become. Inaction feeds fear, while action dissolves it. When you act, even imperfectly, you begin to learn and adapt. Each step you take brings clarity. The first draft of anything, be it a project, a book, or an idea, is rarely perfect. But it is a necessary starting point. Perfection doesn't happen before action, it happens because of it. The risk of missed opportunities. Waiting for the perfect time also means you're missing out on the opportunities that exist right now. The world around you is full of constant change, and by hesitating, you risk losing the chance to leverage circumstances as they evolve. What is perfect timing, really, but an imaginary destination? The longer you wait for it, the more you'll find that the moment you were waiting for has already passed or morphed into something else. The best time to start, to speak, to act is always right now. The more you focus on waiting for the perfect moment, the more you disconnect from the opportunities that are already unfolding in front of you. Small actions create big shifts. Let's reframe it. The real power lies not in waiting for the perfect time, but in taking small actions regardless of timing. Every step you take, no matter how imperfect, adds to your momentum. Each action, even small or flawed, shifts you forward. The beauty of embracing imperfection is that it builds resilience. It teaches you to embrace the uncomfortable, to learn from the missteps, and to move through challenges with grace. The discomfort of starting imperfectly isn't a barrier, it's a teacher. And the more you act, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. The power of the present moment. Rejecting the illusion of perfect timing is about embracing the present moment. It's about recognizing that waiting only prolongs the experience of inadequacy or fear. Instead of fantasizing about the perfect conditions, focus on what you can do now. The moment you decide to take imperfect action is the moment you break free from the chains of waiting. The key isn't waiting for the right moment. It's about recognizing that the only moment that matters is the one you're in right now. The true magic of imperfection. If we accept that perfection is unattainable, we also open ourselves to the magic of imperfection. The world doesn't need more perfectly timed, flawlessly executed plans. What the world needs are imperfect, brave actions. People who choose to act despite uncertainty, to speak up in the face of fear, and to create without waiting for the stars to align. You will never find the perfect moment to do what you've been putting off. But you can create your own moment, right here and now. Perfect timing isn't waiting, it's in the doing. The more you embrace this, the more you'll realize that imperfection is the perfect partner for progress. Conclusion: the now or never mindset. So, why wait? Reject the illusion of perfect timing and embrace the power of right now. Start with whatever you have, imperfect, messy, and incomplete, and allow yourself to evolve through action. There is no perfect time, only this moment, this chance to move forward. Embrace it, and watch how the imperfect journey unfolds into something far more beautiful than you could have ever planned. The truth is, there's no perfect time, but the time is always now. Discipline as a skill, the mastery of your own power. We often think of discipline as a rigid force, a willpower that we either have or don't. It's the grit that gets us through tough moments, the ability to say no to distractions, and the tenacity to push through when we don't feel like it. But what if discipline isn't just a fleeting burst of willpower, but a skill that can be cultivated and refined over time? What if it's more like learning to play an instrument, where repetition and practice transform it from a struggle into a symphony? Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you become through intentional practice, just like any skill. It's not an all-or-nothing thing, it's the gradual building of a muscle that allows you to act with consistency, purpose, and control, regardless of external factors. The evolution of a skill. Discipline, at its core, is the ability to make choices aligned with long-term goals, even when the immediate world tempts you to do otherwise. But think about it, discipline starts off clunky and uncomfortable, just like when you first learned to ride a bike. You wobbled, you fell, you thought you might never get it. But the more you practiced, the more natural it became. It's the same with discipline. At first, it feels like you're fighting against your own desires. Every task feels like an obstacle, and every moment of focus is a battle. But with time, and the right approach, discipline becomes second nature, a finely tuned skill that operates beneath the surface, helping you navigate the complexities of life. Discipline is built through small wins. A common misconception is that discipline is about gritting your teeth through hardship, or forcing yourself into submission. In truth, discipline is best built through small, consistent wins. Think of it as stacking tiny bricks that eventually form a powerful foundation. For instance, committing to 5 minutes of focused work a day, or choosing a healthier meal even when you're craving something indulgent. These small acts don't feel like monumental feats, but they accumulate. Over time, they train your mind to recognize that small, disciplined actions can lead to big results. Just like learning to play a musical scale, these little actions start to harmonize into something bigger and more beautiful. Discipline versus motivation. One of the greatest illusions about discipline is the idea that it requires constant motivation. People often think that they have to be in the mood to exercise, work, or focus. But this mindset leads to intermittent effort. You're either on or off, motivated or discouraged, driven or uninspired. True discipline doesn't wait for motivation to strike. Instead, it creates its own momentum. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't depend on mood. It's about doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline turns action into habit, and as habits grow, motivation becomes less of a deciding factor. You don't need to be motivated to exercise, you simply need to be disciplined enough to make it a part of your routine, whether you feel like it or not. The freedom of discipline. You might think that discipline restricts freedom, but in reality, it creates more freedom. It's the paradox. By imposing certain limitations or structures on yourself, such as setting boundaries for when you work, eat, or rest, you unlock the freedom to focus on what truly matters. You're no longer distracted by endless choices or the constant pull of short-term gratification. Think of it like a chef. A chef doesn't have limitless options. They follow specific recipes and rules in order to create masterpieces. The discipline of cooking, measuring, timing, preparing, restricts the creative chaos and instead gives them the freedom to produce something truly remarkable. Similarly, discipline provides structure that allows for greater expression, productivity, and ultimately, satisfaction in life. Discipline as a path to mastery. Mastery in any area of life, be it fitness, work, relationships, or creativity, comes from repeated disciplined effort. It's the difference between someone who occasionally practices a skill and someone who has dedicated years to perfecting it. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. To master any craft, you need to show up consistently. It's not about grand moments of inspiration or bursts of effort. It's about the small, daily actions that compound over time. Every hour spent practicing, every small effort applied in the right direction, gradually sculpts you into a master of whatever you choose to pursue. Overcoming resistance with discipline. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to help you overcome resistance, that internal voice that tells you to procrastinate, indulge, or avoid hard work. Resistance is a constant companion, and it thrives in the absence of discipline. But by practicing discipline, you develop a muscle of resilience that becomes stronger with each challenge faced. It's like building an immunity to resistance. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone when you need to focus, or push through a workout despite fatigue, you're strengthening your internal resolve. Over time, these small victories make the larger obstacles seem surmountable. Discipline transforms self-perception. As you refine your discipline, you begin to see yourself not as someone who struggles with self-control, but as someone who delivers on their promises to themselves. Discipline enhances your self-respect. You trust yourself more because you've proven that you can follow through, even when it's hard. It's about creating a self-image that aligns with your values and actions. The more you exercise discipline, the more you embody it. It's no longer something you try to do, it becomes part of who you are. You see challenges as opportunities to grow, and you approach setbacks with resilience rather than frustration. The result? A sense of fulfillment that only comes from the quiet, consistent effort to improve. The path of true power. Discipline is the path that separates wishful thinkers from true creators. It's the muscle that transforms intention into reality. It's not about perfection or brute force. It's about consistency, adaptability, and the understanding that every small decision adds up to something monumental. In the end, discipline is less about restriction and more about freedom. The freedom to act with purpose, to create with clarity, and to move toward your goals without being at the mercy of distractions or fleeting desires. Discipline as a skill gives you the power to shape your life with intention, creating a legacy not from occasional bursts of effort, but from the daily mastery of yourself. The only barrier between you and your grandest vision is the hesitation you allow to persist. Cut it now, and you will release a wave of possibilities that have always been there, waiting for you to step into them. In that moment of action, you become the architect of your own future, no longer a passive observer of your life but an active participant in your reinvention. Stand in that wave with open arms. Celebrate the momentum that propels you forward, for in the very act of moving, the path ahead becomes clearer. Indecision fades, and in its place emerges a transformation that not only reshapes your future but serves as a beacon to others, guiding them from the twilight of doubt into the brilliance of decisive action. This is your moment of truth. A choice lies before you: embrace the path of change, or let it slip through your fingers. Choose now. Choose the Stoic way, a life of purposeful, courageous action where you move forward without the weight of procrastination holding you back. Tangible, courageous change is within your reach. All it requires is the courage to take that first step.